You're listening to the Podcast Detroit Network. Visit www.podcastdetroit.com for more information.
Welcome. Thank you for listening. This is the IT and the D Show. We have made it all the way up to episode 208. Guests this week include Terry Bean. He is from Private Label VR. He set up a virtual reality studio in the front room playing Star Wars, and I'm amazed the show started on time.
I'm giddy like a little schoolgirl right now. I had a lightsaber and I got to block lasers.
We'll talk about that more in Terry's segment.
I'm just saying.
I'm
pretty happy right now.
Also have Andrew Coper here from moregetsdone.com. He'll be talking about getting more done. Hey, this show is brought to you by our friends at the Kinney Group. Is your organization's IT security at risk? That's all we talk about every week, I swear to God. By baking solid security architecture and compliance concepts from the ground up, Kinney Group offers a security by design solution proven from the company's work in strict security environments. 3 best practices enable the solution: software-defined infrastructure, that's where we're all going, analytics-driven insights, indeed, and automation, thus reducing the time and cost associated with securing complex environments. Do us a favor. Kinney Group, specializing in secure IT infrastructure, real-time visibility, and compliance for Global 2000 and public sector. Learn more. KinneyGroup.com. It's Kinney. KinneyGroup.com/security. Dave, you may fire when ready.
You're listening to the Podcast Detroit Network. Visit www.podcastdetroit.com for more information.
The following program is intended for mature audiences.
I'm Wyatt, that's Gary, you're Bob, and you're Dave. This is the IT and the D Show.
This is Max Headroom, and what you're about to witness is one of the most sinister-sounding intros to a trailer to one of the greatest epics ever.
This is Billy D. Williams. Bob and Dave and I are enjoying a Colt 45 right now. And remember, IT in the D, it works every time.
Where do you guys think you are? The Library of Congress? Detroit? Beyond the sun? Any of those, right?
Take him to Detroit. No! No, not Detroit! No! No, please! Anything but that! No!
You will never find the more wretched hive of scum and villainy.
Then don't come! Shut up!
Hi, this is Christy Swanson, and you're listening to the IT in the D Show. And Bob and Dave touch my hoo-hoos.
What happens when you tap the angry beaver in the bunghole?
Exactly. Come on. Tries. What the hell with this? I'm calling a break. We'll come back to the D Show.
This is Guilfoyle from Silicon Valley, and the only 2 guys I hate more than Dinesh are Bob and Dave. Suck it, guys.
What's up, everybody? This is Billy Zapka. Sweep the leg. Listening to IT and the D Show. No mercy.
I may have to wipe the geek off.
Hi, this is Kelly LeBrock from Weird Science. So, Bob and Dave, what would you little maniacs like to do first?
Are we at a break yet?
Hey, this is Zach McGowan from Planet Earth. You're listening to IT and the D Show.
Hi, I'm Ernie Hudson, and you're listening to IT and the D. All you nerds out there.
Nerds.
Nerds! What is a nerd?
I'm a nerd, and I'm pretty proud of it.
Hey, Detroit, this is Anthony Michael Hall. You're listening to my buddies Bob and Dave on IT in the D.
This is Scott Steiner, Big Pump Pump. The IT in the D Show is your hookup. Holler if you hear me.
You're in your underwear? I'm in my underwear. Hey, let's hang out.
No, I'm sorry, honey. I have a headache.
I definitely want to see Bob in his underwear. That's a fact.
Hey, everybody. This is Tony Todd. What's happening? You may know me from Candyman, The Rock, Sushi Girls, Zoom, Night of the Living Dead. A lot of pop culture media madness. Anyway, you're listening to IT in the D Show. Business.
I'm totally into Dave, but not so much Bob.
This is Robert Hayes, the Ted Stryker to my mother. When I'm not hanging out at the Magumbo bar, I'm listening to the IT and the D Show. It's worse than Detroit.
Is there such thing as a meat hangover?
I love my Monday meat steak.
Hey, folks, this is WWE Hall of Famer Hacksaw Jim Duggan, and you're listening to the IT and the D Show. Tough guys. Oh!
So, what would you little maniacs like to do first?
The question isn't what are we going to do. The question is what aren't we going to do.
Ludicrous speed! Sir, had you better buckle up? Now buckle this! Ludicrous speed! Go!
welcome. Thank you for listening. This is episode 208 of the one and only IT in the D Show, broadcasting live here in Studio One in Podcast Detroit in beautiful Royal Oak, Michigan.
You know, I really want to renumber the studios now that we've got all four running to make it more like normal, but we're always going to be Studio One no matter
Studio
where we
One.
are, so I'm not gonna.
The Busch Light Studios. If we get them as a sponsor, maybe the PBR.
Right.
Whoa.
The Red Bull studio.
Right.
Let's get the Red Bull studio. We should have the Red Bull studio. We should absolutely have the Red Bull
This
studio.
is Bob the Sales Guy. That is Dave the Geek. Nerdy FNG's in town. Good thing. Randy, I do the Twitters Walker, sitting in studio doing the Twitters. Follow us and find and like us online and all the social stuff, and subscribe to us everywhere fine podcasts are sold.
Hey, and don't forget, this Thursday night, we are down at the Detroit School for Digital Technology. There's an open house running from 5 to 7. You can come and find out everything that they have going on. They are an accredited university. They do all kinds of classes. We are hooking them in with the Career Academy stuff that we've done with MEDC. So that'll be cool. And that is also where we have opened up we are opening up our new studio, which is our biggest, baddest, craziest studio to date. So you're going to want to come check that out. And then from 7 to 9, we'll be wandering across, 7 to whatever-ish, we'll be wandering across the street to Donovan's, which is quite literally across the street from DSCT, and hanging out there for a podcaster meetup. So come on out. And then next Thursday is our normal casual networking event over at Blackfin.
Look it up at the Meet tab on our site.
Yeah.
It's MEET.
Still EET, because although I did buy more meat sticks today.
Yeah, we saw.
We still do not have private label
Slim
meat
Jims.
sticks.
I'm working
still
on
do
that.
not.
I'm working on it.
You've been working on it for like as long as I've been on the show. So.
He's been working on it for as long as I've been on the show.
I emailed Ask Winter Sausage how many times I've emailed them over the last 2 years.
Pick up the phone, Bob. You're the sales guy.
So, hey, you mentioned as we were during the intro that we're always talking about security. And one, dude, this always drives me nuts. I don't understand why people don't understand. Look, if you go to the search bar in Facebook and you search for Facebook security, you are not really finding people who are spying on you.
Oh my God! All these people are spying on me.
Yeah, and not just because Snopes says so. It's really not a thing. It's not a thing. You can go away now.
Oh my God, these people are my friends. I got to block them all.
And there's security.
Why can't I block Gretchen Sriracha?
Dude,
right.
Tom Hubbard has been. How long has this been going on?
Well, I don't know what is like. Is it the keyword like Facebook spies? Is it just something they've typed in, or it's in their?
I think if you have the word Facebook or security in your profile, it finds you. That's how Facebook.
Yeah, because you'll notice there's no pluses, there's no quotes, there's no anything in the search. It's just
right.
So it finds like if you've ever because the first thing it brings up is posts from friends. So anytime any of your friends have posted about Facebook or they've posted about security, or like us, we've posted security stuff on Facebook. Yeah. Those
it was
show up in results.
Panic City with the PTA and soccer moms on Facebook. Panic City.
More or less than over the app permissions of Messenger.
Less than that, more than Facebook's going to charge $5 a month.
Okay.
Way less than Messenger. Oh my God, you would have thought they were vaccinating.
So less than Messenger, but still higher than Facebook Premium.
You would have thought they were vaccinating their kids the way they keep it that. And the other dumb one, and this I hate Facebook for these reasons. The stuff it stopped for a while, and now it's back again. The Sarah ha ha ha. Say something about me. And then I'm going to post them later going, oh my God, this person said I was amazing, but I don't know who.
And so here's the thing. So it's, again, as they all are, a third-party website that you're opening up all your information to. I don't care which Westworld character you would be. I don't care. As you know, I'm not taking the quiz. No, because all you're doing is you're opening up your Facebook info to some third party you don't know. But so now you're opening up to a third party to get some anonymous feedback from, let's be honest, people who you're connected to on Facebook who are supposed to be friends. And if they're friends, they should tell you whatever they were going to tell you anonymously anyway. And I'm finding that most of the people that are having, let's call them bad reactions to this thing are people that have way too many friends than they ever really have in real life, and it's usually girls.
I think you're amazing, and I'd love to meet you.
Oh no! Like the vast, I've seen more girls that have been like, "F that nonsense." I pulled it down after 2 hours.
You know,
oh my,
the internet already has a problem with people thinking they're anonymous, right? So
then you're setting it up to be explicitly
anonymous, right? So
if
what
you
about
got
bullying? Cyberbullying.
if you got a just confession time, let's get the church confessional. If you got you eat poop. Say Eric Gutierrez and Eduardo Martin. That was me. So.
And then what kind of you click the link and you basically get a refer tag to the website, right?
Yes.
And it has your profile information in it probably, right?
Of course it does.
So now you can put together webs
You're anonymous but not so anonymous, which actually brings us to the Glassdoor story.
Oh, I love this one. How many... this is in federal court, Nuri.
I've got a bad one, too. I should go out there and delete that shit, right now.
Yeah, go, delete. So if you've written a review on Glassdoor, I haven't written one in...
Well, and they're waiting to see what the ripple effect of this might be, because there are other places that allow you to review things, like, say, our favorite Yelp.
Right.
The interesting thing about this story...
Well, no, hold on.
Oh.
And for those that don't know what it is,
Yeah,
it's in federal court right now, and they're threatening to unmask the anonymous posters that left Glassdoor reviews. So if you...
So the backstory is there is a company that is suspected of federal wrongdoing and is under investigation. The federal prosecutor's office went to Glassdoor and said, all right, we need the identity of everyone who has left an identity on Glassdoor because they could be a material witness.
I think there were 7 in particular that
8.
actually alluded
so
to...
So Glassdoor said no.
Oh.
But said, okay, well, what if we give you these 8 that, looking through the reviews, probably have something to offer, and here's what we're going to do. We're going to reach out to those 8 and see if they're okay with us providing their information to you. But if they say no. Well, then the feds went, oh, hell no.
Oh, hell no.
And that's not good enough. And so now this is the federal court case.
So talk to me about Glassdoor real quick. I mean, for what I'm... It's always been a pile of crap because you can always tell when there's 8 reviews in a row that are all 5-star going, oh my God, it's amazing.
I just got a new job here.
But that it's a corporate directive going, hey, can you guys fill out Glassdoor because some guy put a bad report out?
Right.
Or it's the salaries are always low. It always seems like for every job.
Yeah.
It just seems like it's not useful. It's kind of like Yelp. It's non-useful information. To be honest, it serves really no purpose.
I mean, companies change so much between divisions, right? So, what are you really going to get out of Glassdoor?
Well, you look at my company that, if you look at my Glassdoor reviews, it's hell on earth. And I asked someone about it, and they go, oh, yeah, that's all the Indian developers. They make work 24/7, to put out new releases. I go, yeah, because they treat the salespeople like kings. And it's just funny how you get these dual perspectives on, then you look at, me leaving Cisco, and you look at every Glassdoor report, it's all the 14,000 people that just left going,
As I said, positive reviews, I just got my job there.
Yeah.
Negative reviews, I just lost my job there.
Right.
See, I look at my
they
company.
laid off everyone.
I look at my company and...
At least it's predictable.
Right.
My CEO, 94% approve, highest rated CEO of 2017.
Wow.
I totally get that because this guy is absolutely incredible in the way he
Sure.
interfaces with people. And then I go look at other companies I worked at and see 15% of people approve a CEO, right? So I think there's some, just like Yelp, right? You wade through the bullshit, you may find some good stuff here and there, but
That's not going to make me not work for a company, though.
no. If a CEO had a 15% approval rating, you'd
I wouldn't care. Yeah, I wouldn't care.
Wow.
I'd ask about it.
Yeah, that's a really good question for
Because it depends on where you work for. You're so far removed. One of the guys that led the division I was with at HP was the biggest asshole I've ever seen in my life, ever, in person, in work, and all. I was so far removed from that guy; it impacted my job 0.0%. So again, it doesn't matter. I know shit goes down, rolls downhill. But it literally had no impact on anything we did.
So back in 2009, United Airlines CEO had only an 8% approval rating.
Oh my God.
Has it gone down since then?
Exactly.
Radio Shack, yeah, totally.
So, hey, one more Facebook story we forgot, and it's a local Michigan story where guy hacks ex-wife's account because he's mad at her, decides to change her profile photo to a topless photo. Changes her occupation to whore.
A woman of ill repute.
A woman of ill repute.
Who the hell uses that? Oh, it's so good.
That's right. See, woman of ill repute. Yeah, and so it's weird. I thought the terminology was weird. That there. It's not revenge porn. It's non-consensual pornography.
Oh my God! It's revenge porn,
which is only punishable by up to 93 days in jail in the
But
state
he
of
got
Michigan.
a felony, dude. He can't vote no more. He got a felony for that.
Well, theoretically, it's hacking.
He also had a
You want to
guns-
call that
He
hacking?
had a weapons charge too. Like it wasn't just that. There was some other stuff.
It was a what was it? Didn't they call it a? Well, it was another really weird, like a coincidental, technical. Yeah, it was technically a weapons violation.
But the fact that he like tried to trash his ex-wife on Facebook, it's a felony. Again, it's like delete all Glassdoor reviews. Don't rip on anyone on Facebook. It's like,
right.
Like seriously. But you know, we talked. The one threw me off is for the second time in history, World of Warcraft money is worth more than U.S. currency.
No, Bolivian.
Or
currency.
Bolivian. Sorry.
I was like,
Venezuelan.
wait, it's the
Yes.
yeah, you're right. Yeah, the Venezuelan Bolivar.
I
yeah,
totally
Bolivar,
messed that
yeah.
whole thing
totally
up.
Robin already.
I'm noteless tonight. So
yeah, no, not U.S. currency. That would be scary as hell.
no, but like what it's being traded for, like you can buy. This is the one
on the black market.
When my world got thrown upside down is the day I found out people are buying like Diablo and like World of Warcraft swords on the black market. And I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah,
Dude, back in the day, people were buying Mafia Wars accounts from people.
Oh, jeez, Mafia Wars.
It was a thing.
The interesting thing about Venezuelan currency, though, like in May it was 279 bolivars for $1. Now $1 gets you 8,493 bolivars. Talk about like devaluation of currency.
A little bit.
little bit.
Dude, so I'm not going to lie. There are some great stories this week, but the one that sent me down a rabbit hole is the Russian radio station.
I kind of like this one.
So it's called MDZHB is the name of it, and it's a Russian. It's out in like the middle of nowhere, and it broadcasts on ultra low bands, so like you can hear it damn near anywhere in the world.
I was going to ask you, can you hear it on TuneIn? Like, no, I'm just curious because
Theoretically, if someone has added a recording stream to it, yes,
Right,
you could.
okay.
But I mean, so all it does is it broadcasts a buzzing tone.
But no one's ever claimed to run this.
And then,
apparently.
the Russians deny all knowledge of it.
Right.
Every now and then, some other random stuff shows up in the stream, but it's like nothing human intelligible, nothing. And there are apparently 2 other stations around the world that do this.
It's 4,625 kilohertz to the frequency.
Yeah. So, and it's just there. And like, so people are like, and there's all these conspiracy theories around it. Like it happened right about, right when like the Soviet Union was collapsing. So is this like a dead drop signal that if that tone stops, the nukes launch?
Why do they keep saying dingy, though? Do they just see Tommy Boy?
So that's like they call like a one-time use pad. So if they use different words, it's basically a rudimentary cryptography.
Yep.
And there are hundreds of active number stations.
Well,
around
number
the world.
stations are something different.
This is different than a number
Oh
station.
yeah, no. So number stations
That was
actually
on Lost.
Well, yeah. So I mean, like, so this is just like a buzzing tone. Number stations actually, someone comes on and starts speaking a sequence of numbers.
Or has like the Windows XP startup noise. Or
Right.
solitaire in the background.
There's no human voices. There's no anything on. It's just there.
It's like a boring low hum. It's kind of like listening to NPR.
There's actually a bunch of places you can listen to online. This HF Radio and the Listening Post. You can actually Google and find places that will actually you can listen to these things.
So yeah, I mean, if it's so somebody's streaming it, so you can probably absolutely catch it on TuneIn. So yeah, that and honestly, like I went and so that's when I started because I forgot about number stations. There was an X-Files episode about it back in the day. This brought me right back down that rabbit hole, and
they exist on Twitter too. Did you know that?
Yep.
There are
And
Twitter accounts that tweet out random strings of numbers on a regular basis,
And it's like an upper English accent. It's being read in Russia.
Oh, it's so
like
crazy.
It's just weird. Like the more you read about this article goes forever.
Well, the less technical you are, I guess, the harder it is to hack. Right? You're basically using really old school technology out in the clear. It's not encryption. It's basically just real. Harder to intercept, I guess.
So I feel like we have to hit the Mother of God. We've gotten way too politically correct story of the week.
No.
School.
Dude, so Oregon or Oregon, depending on where you're from. Oregon, oregano, whatever. Apparently, there are 3 schools that are losing their name. They are Lynch View, Lynch Meadows, and Lynch Lake, that are named after the Lynch family that donated a shit ton of money to the school district and to the town to have that happen. And we're kind of they were the founding family of the goddamn town. But because the word lynch has connotations in the South, primarily, with other bad things that have gone on to people, but not these people.
So they,
because they're in Oregon, so they're taking the name Lynch off all the schools because it's possible that it might make somebody think of lynching.
So they can't watch Fox football when John Lynch is the announcer?
Correct.
Oh, they have to turn it off.
No.
Right, they're just not going to broadcast Oregon anymore?
You're not allowed to use a lynch pin for anything anymore.
I don't use one
in the
anyway.
state of Oregon.
You know what? Steve Shithead is not going to donate any land to any elementary school anywhere.
It's Shatid.
Was that
what was it? Aswapay.
Isn't that the comedian, the guitar guy?
Stephen Lynch.
Stephen Lynch,
Yeah.
He stopped.
He can't
canceled
perform,
his tour.
Can't perform in Oregon anymore.
Him and Kanye and Bieber all canceled their tours to Oregon.
Dude, speaking of Kanye.
No, I don't want to talk about that butthole.
No, I'm sorry. This is the dumbest. Seriously.
story.
So he cancels his own tour because he needs mental health time.
Which I get it.
Okay, fine. Yeah. But then he sues the insurers that had backed his concert for not paying him the money they were going to pay him if something happened that canceled his concert. But he's the one that canceled his concert.
Even more interesting, the insurers are claiming it's because he smokes marijuana is why he's had a mental health breakdown.
Yeah.
That's not why.
That's not why.
I didn't read weed. I just read they suspected drug use. So God only knows. But yeah, so apparently you just have to get somebody to insure you that you're going to do something and then not do it and then get the money.
It's kind of like
thing.
Kind of like saying I refuse to play for the NFL anymore.
Right. I've decided. Oh yeah, good on. Dude, did you see those events coming across Facebook
Dave,
today?
That I'm not going to date Cindy Crawford. I told you.
I decided I am not going to date Sofia Vergara.
Right,
I've made that decision. It's all on me. Did you see those Facebook events that were coming across today by any chance?
Which ones?
That where they're doing a stand for Colin Kaepernick at like the first game all across the NFL.
So they're standing or
I don't.
Can I just watch football? I just watch football?
No.
3 good articles to end this segment. The first one is I hate people. You can't. So here's the thing, you Lego nerds. I hate you all. So the trailer. So was it from It?
The new trailer. The trailer for the new movie It that's coming out,
which is supposed to be set in '89.
Yeah, 89, 87.
Had lime green Legos in it.
So there's a scene where it's a very dramatic scene where Legos are falling to the floor, like because bad things happen to kids in this movie, and yada yada yada. And so the Lego nerds got their panties in a bunch because lime green Legos weren't introduced until 2010.
Right. So, it's almost like they're good.
That's a pretty big oversight.
Oh, come on, Randy.
Why are you here to do the Twitters again?
If you think for a second I have a Lego scene in a movie that I'm going to do research and go, when were these colors? I thought all colors were introduced from the day one.
I'm going to go to the store. I'm going to buy bulk Legos, and I'm going to come back to the set, and that's what we're going to use.
Right. It's blue M&Ms were introduced till 2012. Buttholes.
Yellow Starburst wasn't a yellow Starburst. That.
So now they're threatening to boycott the movie.
Jesus. Let them.
Right.
Because if they are that nitpicky, I don't want them in a theater with me.
Seriously.
I don't. At all.
I could see the cloud. I could see the wires.
Yeah, exactly. He's not really flying. See the wire.
David Copperfield's fake. So the one thing that now I'm not gonna lie, I love it and I hate this one at the same time. So Karate Kid is coming back.
Cobra Kai
with Ralph Macchio and Johnny Lawrence as equal parts.
Yeah,
great. So it's not great because it's not a movie. It's a 12-part sitcom on YouTube Red, written by the people that wrote Hot Tub Time Machine.
Yeah. No part of that sounds good.
No, nothing. And I liked Hot Tub Time Machine. And I like Karate Kid. And I like Ralph Macchio.
I'm in for all of it. I want the unresolved question answered. Won a no kicks to the face tournament with a kick to the face. That needs to be addressed.
So this is like the Rogue One for Karate Kid.
Exactly.
Needs the backstory so fanboys will finally shut up.
So that
and that's going to open up another one. Why did you do this?
Of course, absolutely.
Comic-Con scene dried up. And we love you guys. You guys are awesome. But like, come on, YouTube Red too. No, I'm not doing $10. No, I already pay Netflix. I already pay Spotify. No, I'm not. You're not getting my money.
No, it'll be on Amazon or Hulu or something shortly.
And then for a good laugh, this will consume your entire week. Apparently, there are 12 known Blockbusters still in existence in brick and mortar in the United States of America.
Dude, this is wow.
Real quick rant about Blockbuster. They had a chance. They could have. Were they talking about buying Netflix, or they were going to go into?
Oh, we've talked about this. They could have bought Netflix for $20 million,
which is a mere penance,
and they turned it down.
Good job, Blockbuster.
So if you go to at Lone Blockbuster,
yep, on Twitter.
It's not even part of Blockbuster corporate, it states.
No.
Their Twitter account
is
has
hilarious.
To be the funniest.
I lost 2
Twitter
hours.
account.
I lost 2 hours scrolling through that feed, just laughing.
Like just the one from 4 hours ago was, hope you had a nice relaxing summer weekend. We just pawned our gumball machine. It's like, where do you, like, honestly, it's like all, like asking us why we don't have Blu-rays is like asking a homeless person why they don't have a MacBook Pro.
Yeah, highlight of the weekend, some 12-year-old kid just walked in and asked for a copy of every movie that had boobies in it.
Right. Oh, yeah. Like, I saw the manager of Hollywood Video in a Walmart. He had his kid on one of those leashes. Like, but it's, so anyway.
My manager's offering a free movie rental today if you stay and watch it with her.
Good stuff.
So, hey, of relevance, though, to what we are sitting here doing, and this was actually kind of big news that came across late in the day, there was a patent troll out there named Personal Audio that was trying to basically claim that they owned podcasting. And it went all the way up through appeals. The EFF stepped in and got involved.
No one has said anything about our new mulch.
But it got shot down today. So patent troll can go away. Nobody, yes, they do not own podcasting. It is not a thing.
You didn't own it anyway. Kiss my ass.
Exactly.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to be back with the one and only Enigma himself, Terry Bean, talking about virtual reality and
What'd you call him?
The Enigma. Properties of virtual reality. This is the IT in the D show.
And we'll be right back.
Oh, good call.
IT in the D. Read, meet, listen. Networking Detroit, one beer at a time.
Hey, this is John Schneider from Nip Tuck Smallville, the haves and the have-nots. Oh, Dr. Quinn, Hot in Cleveland, Secret Life of the American Teenager, and just about everything you can possibly imagine. And oh yeah, the Dukes of Hazzard. You're listening to Bob and Dave. It's the IT in the D show.
ITinthed.com.
Welcome back. This is segment 2, episode 208 of, I almost said something else, the IT in the D show, broadcasting live here, Studio One Podcast, Detroit, beautiful Royal Oak, Michigan. The weather's changing when there was one guy outside the ice cream shop down the street that's got the Superman in the
Dude, when I drove by, it was packed.
Oh, there's one person in line. Oh,
wow.
Right. I just thought, that's the end of summer.
It's not the end of summer yet. You shut your mouth.
This is Bob the Sales Guy. Dave the Geek is running the soundboard. Nuri the FNG is making fun of me. Nuri, I do the Twitter's Walker. Randy, I do the Twitter's Walker.
Better than Nuri, I do the Randy's Walker.
Find
See
us
me after the show.
Done, whatever.
Find us online, ITinthed.com, because we are IT in the D, and you just keep talking about us.
Yeah, or keep having an aneurysm every time we say you are not. So, hey, HelloFresh is the meal kit delivery service that makes cooking more fun so you can focus on the whole experience, not just the final plate. Each week, HelloFresh creates new delicious recipes with step-by-step instructions designed to take about 30 minutes for everyone from novices to seasoned home cooks short on time. HelloFresh sources the freshest ingredients measured to the exact quantities needed, so there's no food waste. I'm not going to lie. Dude, that's one of the things I've always loved about this thing is that I'm never going to go buy a thing of chive. But they send me the little container of chive that has exactly
the 3 pieces of chive
that I need, and I'm good.
Right.
And, yeah, life's good. HelloFresh employs 2 full-time registered dietitians on staff who review each recipe to ensure it's nutritionally balanced. HelloFresh delivers food to your doorstep in a recyclable, insulated box for free. Another good point, I mean, especially with some of the 90-degree days that we've had lately, dude, I've never had an issue with this stuff. It shows up.
Vegetables are as good as if you buy it at the store.
Yeah.
I've never had one rotten anything.
No, it's amazing. So HelloFresh is now offering light summer meals and it's just introduced breakfast options.
Breakfast is done.
HelloFresh does breakfast.
Oh boy, hello fresh breakfast.
It's delicious ingredients you'll love to eat, simple recipes you'll love to cook. Get cooking, and it's less than $10 a meal. So here's the deal. You're going to go to HelloFresh.com and enter IT in the D30. That's all smushed together, IT in the D30 when you subscribe. It's going to go ahead and give you $30. It's going to go ahead and give you $30 off your first week of HelloFresh. Life is good. So that's HelloFresh.com. Use code IT in the D30 when you check out.
Yum, yum, yum. I cannot wait out for breakfast. I will have a whole segment talking about HelloFresh breakfast.
Unfortunately for you, Bob, I'm quite sure. I'm going to go out on a limb and say their recipes do not include waffle iron.
Oh, no, I have one.
No, I know.
Waffle batter.
Nothing. Nothing. I'm sure there's no step in the box that says now pour this all into a waffle iron.
By the way, my non-technology loving wife is officially technology spoiled. 11:30 in the morning on Saturday, she goes, "Hey, can you put a shipped order together?" and starts barking at me, and I'm on the couch watching soccer. Such a typical Saturday morning at the Wallenspiel house. I go, "Yeah, babe, they're coming at 1:00. Can't they come any sooner?" I go, "Babe, it's 11:30.
Like they got to go through the store. They got to find the stuff.
I go, "Yeah, I can't magically get in bags." Wow. Officially, I go, "Do you realize how spoiled you sound?" I go, "You don't have to leave right now."
Like it can't get here faster than 90 minutes. It would. Yeah. Wow. That's outstanding, Bob.
So hey, we are joined by one of our oldest friends in this business, old friend in general, Mr. Terry Bean. How the heck are you?
I'm doing great, guys. It's good to see you.
Likewise.
Now can I talk about Star Wars? I was playing Star Wars.
Now you can talk about Star Wars.
Star Wars.
I was playing
had
Star
to
Wars.
save it for Dave. I couldn't let anybody else touch the Star Wars. Dave had to be the
I'm on Tatooine.
I was Tatooine, and I had a lightsaber, and I had to deflect laser bolts back at the stormtroopers and kill them, and it was awesome. And R2's in it, and yeah.
Terry, your latest
gave you the lightsaber.
Oh, see, I mean, your latest venture is private label VR, and VR used to be kind of like a pipe dream. There wasn't many good apps. It's like, whatever. You know, everyone kind of knew it just from the free Samsung thing that they used once at Christmas Day.
Right.
Showed Grandpa and never used it again.
Or, the movie Lawnmower Man, or...
It's from VR, but that's a long time ago. But regardless, like VR is like a thing now where it's everywhere.
It's legit, man. It's actually happening. It's unfortunate that Samsung gets to be called VR, and what Dave experienced is also called VR. It's not quite the same thing.
It's kind of like sales guys. It doesn't matter what you feel my pain.
That's it, man. That's it. It's been a good time, though.
So talk to me what you guys are doing.
So we're in the space of helping family entertainment centers like bowling alleys and other out-of-home entertainment venues set up and have and operate VR arcades.
So what do we do with the space?
So you set it up in our green room out there in the lobby area. Not a whole lot of gear, not a whole lot of space required. Kind of cool.
And that's it, right? So it's the the arcade was huge, right? When we were kids, late 70s, mid 80s, and all of a sudden everybody had the ability to have their own little arcade at home, whether it was an Xbox or Nintendo.
Then we had LAN parties.
And
Or Bob had lemon parties.
Boom.
Almost the same thing, really.
Right.
It's like a virtual lemon for Bob. It worked out really well.
Yes. Don't Google that.
So no, don't look that up. So, but what happened back in 2016? Both Oculus Rift, the company that Facebook dumped $2 billion into in 2014.
Why would Facebook invest in VR? I'm just curious. It seems like a ridiculous thing.
Because Messenger's going to get a whole lot freakier.
Wait till people start complaining about the privacy rights there.
Yeah, exactly.
They're going to have to upload a whole new app. People are going to be pissed. No, so Facebook put money into it because they see it as the evolution of the desktop computer. Right, so you're going to be totally dialed in through your VR situation.
We're becoming surrogates with Bruce Willis.
It's going to be the South Park Facebook episode.
Oh, I can't wait.
Which one was that?
Damn, I got sucked into Facebook.
Oh. No, it's going to be surrogates. Like, we're all going to be sitting at home, and then our Google robots are going to get VR, and the eyes are going to come through the surrogates, and we're going to take it to Starbucks so we don't have to go.
Dude, it wasn't called, what was that movie? It wasn't called Surrogates,
Yeah, it was.
it?
It's totally called Surrogates.
Oh.
Then everyone's like good looking on the street. Then
Of
you
course.
go home and they all look like me.
It's the World of Warcraft guy.
Right, exactly.
Just get a pretty avatar. You're all set.
Right,
You
exactly.
don't have to think twice about it.
But these were like the rooms that were used. Like these were rooms that were used for LAN parties or used for the Pac-Man stand-up arcades. Like they haven't evolved.
They haven't, and they have totally 100%.
Yeah.
Right. So some of these guys that were in there playing earlier got to go into a stand-up VR arcade game and shoot little ships that were shooting at them, and you can walk around 360 degrees and shoot from every angle. I mean, it's fully immersive. It's a wild experience, and it's actually almost as fun to watch people play in VR as it is to actually do VR.
See, now, what's the percentage of people like me that get absolutely seasick and hate life? I've heard it's like a small percentage. Like I'm one of the, I'm the guy that went on the motion ride at Epcot and sat for 2 hours because I couldn't, because I was dizzy.
Yeah, so people experience some level of vertigo, but it depends on what kind of technology you're using. So the lower quality VR headset, whether it's a Google Cardboard or even the Samsung Gear, it's a higher percentage. But when you've got something that's computer driven and you've got the right graphics card, they get it all the way down to like 2% of the population gets sick. You actually should try it because I think you'll be able to see and actually work through it.
The refresh rates have gotten better, basically, right? That's what's
significantly, right? It's a frames per second thing, and I don't want to totally geek out on this surrounded by a bunch of guys who can actually geek out on it. But I mean, you guys tell me what the difference between a graphics card and a quality processor is and how that impacts the game, right? You can't do that on a cell phone. So they're looking at wireless things where the processor's actually in the head-mounted display, but that technology isn't quite there compared to an actual desktop.
In terms of games, like, is there a Pac-Man Space Invaders Gauntlet Warriors about to die? Like, if you could imagine, like, being immersed in, like, those worlds, like, of the games that we grew up in. Like, because we're the ones that are going to buy this crap. It ain't going to be our 12-year-old kids.
Dragon's Lair.
Dragons to see. Dude, it's like Adventureland on Atari. Give me all that.
2084, baby. I can't
Robot
wait.
Ron, dude. Come on. Tron. Oh, my God. Can you imagine a Tron game? No, but who's developing these? Like, to have, oh, my God, an immersed Tron with the spider board with the arm. Oh, my, seriously.
Awesome.
But I mean, is that coming? I know it's not out now because I'd have one in my living room. But like, who's developing these games? Is it getting to the EA Activision level yet?
Absolutely. Namco is one of the biggest names in the space right now. So they've developed some pretty serious games, and there's a ton of different. There's over 1,000 different VR games on Steam right now. So Steam's the place where you go and you download the games, whether you're an at-home gamer or you're doing VR. There's a ton of them.
I refuse to use Steam until Half-Life 3 comes out. Sorry.
Is that political, or is there a different reason for that?
No, we've just been waiting for Half-Life 3 for a very long time. Yeah.
Like, I want to play Contra in VR. Like, that's Defender.
You have to figure out how to do up, down, left, right.
Yes, exactly.
And do the mashed potato with your controllers, and then you get God mode?
Yeah, exactly.
Button mash, yeah. Oh, my God. Mortal Kombat. Come on, give me some. Oh. Like boxing. Is there like a good boxing game?
There's a couple of good boxing games. There's bowling games. There's lots of archery. And if you don't like zombies, you have the opportunity to kill as many zombies as you can possibly stand in VR
so,
right
like,
now.
See, now that's when you get Call of Duty and you have like a rifle, like you look down a sight. That's when it's gonna. I'm getting, now that I'm thinking about the possibilities, because in the beginning I was like, whatever. They're just you fly around, blah, boring. But now I'm like, wait a minute.
Did I not mention that I had a lightsaber and I had to deflect laser blast back at stormtroopers?
In the Wii we had like Star Wars,
but not like that.
You didn't have to wear a big headset to do that.
Dude, that was sick. Like the graphics, the video, it was sick.
Did you take the lightsaber and you hold it at your crotch like the Schwartz? You did, didn't you?
I didn't have that one.
Your Schwartz is as big as mine.
That's right.
Andrew was on the back of a train shooting at stuff that looked like straight out of Mad Max just 5 minutes ago, right? So, I mean, it's a pretty wild
So the
experience.
games are stepping up quick.
The games are stepping up. It's funny. When I got into the space at the end of 2016, there were about 150 different experiences. Like I said, now there's over 1,000. So they're just pumping them out left and right.
And what's the average? So I guess those are two related questions. What's the price point to get started with something like this, and then what's the average price point on the games?
Mm-hmm. So the gear itself, the HTC Vive that I brought in, the headset and the remote controllers and the lighthouses that it can actually see you in space is about $800. And you can pick it up at the Microsoft store or GameStop has it, or you can order online from HTC.
Why do you not just have a couple with you that we could buy now?
Right.
And I could bring home with me.
I should. Had I really known my audience, I would have brought extra.
What time does Micro Center close?
I'm like, you brought me Star Wars.
I brought you the right thing. I didn't realize
Show
that
almost
you were
didn't
have to take
start
it
on
home.
time.
I'm actually impressed it did. Fortunately, it's kind of a short experience. If I would have gave him Lightblade VR, he'd still be out there.
Oh boy!
Which this brings up an amazing point. Like we're all like entranced watching people play this. Like people who are playing it are like entranced. Then you put this in a venue like a bowling alley or an arcade. It's a spectacle, right? This makes a lot of sense if you were a business.
It's the 2017 Mechanical Bull. I'm just going to say that's what it is because you're watching people flail around.
Do you remember?
Yes.
Mary's too young, but I mean, do you remember when Donkey Kong dropped? There was like a sea of like 30 kids at Pampa Lanes, like wouldn't go bowling on Saturday morning. You know, when it was their turn, Bobby, it's your turn. But Donkey Kong,
right?
And we just sat and watched.
I remember when Space Invaders hit the ice rink. And like kids were screwing up and getting late, being late for practice, and oh yeah,
that and Berserk back and forth. When my buddy played,
right.
I'd get the 3-foot licorice. Anyway, enough reminiscing. But like, when does this? So I mean, the one thing I think is the only hang up is you got to buy like a badass Alienware laptop. Like you can't run this on like a netbook.
Well, so I guess that's a good point. So it's $800 plus your computer system.
It's $800 plus the computer, right? And you're going to get into a low-end computer at about $1,500. But if you're a gamer, you've already got that equipment, right? So you just plug it right in. It's an HDMI port, it's a USB port, and a power port, and that's it. Right, so it can run on, if you've got the right graphics card and the right processor, you're already ready to go. You can see the wheel spinning on Dave's head right now.
Studio 5. Studio 5.
We have all that extra space in the new studio in Corktown.
This thing's good to go.
So I guess, Terry, how do you, I mean, you do this in venues. How do you help them with that? I mean, do you go in there, you set it up for them? How do you help them monetize that? And what's that look like? Is it an hourly charge or a per game charge, or what does that work?
So we give them the technology that they need. We'll go in and we'll install it. We'll set it up. We'll train their staff. We'll load them up with a bunch of games that they can play. We'll show everybody how to use it, how to sell it. And then we take care of the licensing fee because like everything else that's content related, the most important piece is that content continues to get developed. Mm-hmm. So we end up paying all the game developers. And we've got guys that are making couple of $1,000s a month on games that they've put together. So there's two different models. There's the consumer model, right? You go out and you buy the game from Steam. The game could be free, could be $40. Arizona Sunshine's a great example. It's $39.99. It's a zombie shooter. But, in the commercial model, it's almost a pay per minute. And we're charging $1 a minute, $45 for an hour. You send 3 or 4 people into the booth. It's their booth for the hour, and they play as many games as they can in that amount of time.
I mean, folding lanes cost $80 an hour for crying out loud. This is a damn bargain. At least you're getting technology here. Ridiculous.
Folding, that's a riot.
Oh, it's awful. It's the worst thing I've ever done. I just want to go to the bar. I don't want to sweat.
So folding and pedal pubs are in like the same genre.
And slow roll.
Right. And well, no, because there's no drinking associated with slow roll, but it's, he doesn't like to exercise while he drinks.
No shower beers
the way
either.
you're drinking.
Weird.
It really does. If you got to use a hand to actually play a game, it takes away from your hand that you could use to drink.
Seriously, yeah. So I'm thinking, do you put like a couple 50-inch TVs behind it to for the viewing experience? So like when people walk by and they see it, like, wow, it's cool. Or is it mostly like all private room stuff where it's kind of like the old Japanese karaoke
rooms? Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking.
So I shouldn't nod while I'm on the podcast because your listeners can't actually see me nodding.
You can answer me after I ask a question.
Okay. Is that how that works? I'm not sure what the give and take rules are. Yeah, no, man. So yeah, absolutely. 50-inch screen so people are watching it so they can see it. The idea is if you put it in a family entertainment center, you have to have at least one in a high traffic area so people can see and go, holy crap, what's that?
Right.
Because the difference between putting that Samsung gear on that's driven by a phone And what you guys were experiencing out in the green room is the difference between a 1984 Volkswagen Scirocco and a 2017 Maserati.
Kudos for you for remembering the VW Scirocco.
Scirocco. I'm trying to relate to the audience.
Sriracha. So you had the Volkswagen Sriracha. That's
It burned your ass after it broke down so much. Like that's like one of the I could just imagine right now. Like I'm with my kids all like infatuated with it. So like bowling alley, there's the VR, and I'm like, oh kids, look, Ronald McDonald's to the left while the VR's to the right. Just like, run,
see ya.
Like, they get caught up in that. It's bananas.
I remember what was it? It was a game called Police 911 back in the day. It was an arcade game where it actually you would move to dodge bullets and it tracked your body, and that was one of my favorite things to do in an arcade. This is on like so much more of a scale. This is like fully, completely immersive, and I shut up and take my money, basically, right? So,
absolutely. One of my favorite experiences is a thing called Richie's Plank. You get in, you go into an elevator, you go up 60 floors, the elevator doors open, you're obviously in downtown, you're surrounded by skyscrapers, there's an 8-foot plank, and all you have to do is just walk out to the end of the plank. If you have the slightest hint of a fear of heights, you watch people cower. They scream. They say they're not doing it. They're not walking. Listen, you're in the same floor that you were in 48 seconds ago before I put the goggle on. Won't move.
And I've seen like places do that where like they'll get a board. So you are like you even if it's just like an inch up off the floor, okay, now go ahead and step up onto the board, and people lose their minds,
panic stricken. And it messes with your brain, right? Your brain has no idea which part is real and which part isn't, right? So
because seeing is believing.
Well, is there a recommended? That's the thing. Like, is there a recommended like time? Like, hey, 15 minutes and out, or can you sit in that thing for how long before you become lawnmower man?
I want to be Job.
Right.
I want to be Job.
I had a buddy of mine who's an avid gamer who came over one day and said, "Yeah, I want to check this out." I honestly, 2.5 hours later, I'm like, "No, seriously, you have to go. I can't have you in my house any longer."
Yeah.
So, but most people are good for 15 or 20 minutes, and they want to try something different that involves like the actual.
But what if
reality.
they don't? Is there a? There's no. It's on you.
It's on you, man.
Okay.
You gotta.
I'm just curious.
When do the old school Pokemon seizures kick in?
Right. No, when people start dying because they haven't pooped in 3 days because they're like in Taiwan or whatever. The stories come out like every year.
That's the big thing, right? And they have gaming competitions all over the planet, and people are like trying to set records. Hey, I played for 26 hours straight.
Right.
I'm like, what?
Had a heart attack after 24 Red Bulls.
Right.
My mom only had to bring the bucket over to me twice.
Or you just die of kidney failure because you don't go at all.
Right.
I'm sorry, it just exploded. What was that sound?
Right.
Now, is this being? I'm just thinking of more possibilities. It's only one player right now, right? Is there a multiplayer?
There are multiplayer games, absolutely.
So you can go multiple people in a world?
Yep. So you can do it over the web or you can do it locally. So if you've got 3 or 4 stations set up in a facility, you can have 3 or 4 different booths, and they can go in and they can shoot the same zombies, and they can play against or play together.
The only reason we used to go to Dave & Buster's when it very first opened is because they used to have 8, basically it was tanks.
Yeah,
they had tanks and they had F-16s, and basically you had 8 people and you all got your name, and then they had a leaderboard, and who shot down how many planes and how many blew up how many tanks, and that was the best thing. And when they dropped them, I didn't like.
Well, they've got that with like the motorcycle games. There's always like a whole row of them.
But I mean, you were in like your own booth. It was off to the side, like you were like curtain pulled. You were in like your own little tiny room.
What were you doing in there?
Playing tanks.
Oh, okay. Just making sure. Well, I heard the curtain was pulled.
Operating the joystick.
Shooting people. Yeah. No, the multiplayer thing.
I win.
That changes like with all those the people that like in Second Life and Sims. Like the possibilities of this thing. It's like I'm scared because I don't want any part of it. This is the one thing I'm pulling the rug out on my technology advancement with this
because this is where addiction happens.
Because it's my stomach. That's why.
Yeah, if you get sick, man, it probably would not be that enjoyable of an experience, right?
It was cool. It was immersive. Your periphery, as far as around you turn, it's off in the distance.
Totally blacked out.
So where do we find this stuff again?
So you can go check us out at privatelabelvr.net because we like to be .net because that's where the cool kids are.
And if you're not connected with Terry Beat on LinkedIn, then you must be like the 3 people in Alaska. She's
Hey, LinkedIn is a video game. I'm going for the highest score. Isn't that how that works?
Yeah. So you got the high score, Terry.
All right, so Terry, hey, before we get going, anywhere here local in the Metro Detroit area that folks want to take a look at stuff can come out and check the stuff out.
Yeah, thanks for asking, Dave. There's a really cool event coming up called DEET Realities, short for Detroit Realities.
Okay.
But DETrealities.com. It's happening at Grand Circus on October 6th.
Okay.
Great bunch of presenters going to be talking about virtual reality, augmented reality, and anything alternative reality at this point.
Oh, very cool. That'll fit in nicely. We actually just had a lawyer talking augmented reality stuff a couple weeks ago. Like, did a whole deep dive on that. Very cool.
Yeah, it'll be a good time.
Where do we find out info about that?
DETrealities.com.
Awesome. Pretty sure you'll be able to see us there. We'll check it out.
Excellent.
All right, man. Thanks.
Hey, we're going to be back with Andrew Coper from morgetsdone.com. Thank you, Terry. Appreciate it as always. This is the IT and the D Show.
And we'll be right back after some VR in the lobby.
IT and the D. Read, meet, listen. Networking Detroit. One beer at a time.
Hi, I'm Brittany Daniel from The Game, and you're listening to IT and the D Show.
itinthed.com.
Welcome back. Thanks for sticking around with us. This is episode 208, segment 3, IT in the D Show, broadcasting live here in Studio One, Podcast Detroit, beautiful Royal Oak, Michigan. It's Bob the Sales Guy, Dave the Geek, Nuri the FNG, Randy, I do the Twitter's Walker. Find us online, itinthed.com. I was going to say, because we are, but we already did that last time.
Yeah, we already did that.
You can do it again. I mean, just grind it in the cigarette nose.
Guess what, buddy? We're still IT in the D. No, but subscribe to us everywhere fine podcasts are sold, and mark your calendars via our Meet tab, and give us a like on the Facebooks, and give us a review and tell us we suck. We haven't gotten a review in a while.
This is true.
But hey, we are joined by a local Detroiter, entrepreneur, Andrew Coper from morgetsdone.com. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So we were talking a little bit during the break, but I guess walk me through the process on how you started this little venture up, and I guess your roots here in Detroit, and we'll go from there.
Sure. Probably a good starting place is I moved to Detroit. I'm not a Detroit native, but when I moved to the city after graduating from college, fell in love with Detroit's architecture. You know, it doesn't have the best reputation, but having grown up in Michigan but not spent really hardly any time in Detroit, just to live here, skyscrapers, Penobscot Building, and all those things was amazing. And I thought the city didn't get enough credit for its stock of architecture, its building stock. And so that was a cause I started volunteering with: preservation, rebuild Detroit, urban planning, that kind of thing. And so I found a group called Cityscape Detroit, focused on kind of urban planning, built environment issues, and started volunteering with them. First as a volunteer, writing an article, newsletter, sitting at a table, sign-in table at an event, and then as the senior volunteers ahead of me stepped away after years of volunteering, became the president. And so at that point, there was a corps of officers, a bunch of volunteers, a lot of people who cared about that cause. And so just trying to do things, carry out the group's mission. And I had to kind of get people to do things. And I mean,
good luck with that.
That doesn't quite sound right. But
no, I know what you mean.
But we still have meetings, we talk about things, and we'd organize an event. We'd say, let's have a tour of old churches in the neighborhood or something like that. So we need to get vans, we need sign up, we need drivers, we have meet for lunch after it. And so I really came to see what I was doing. I wasn't doing specific tasks, but just trying to aggregate resources, trying to get people to do things, and money and different resources to achieve a mission, to achieve a goal. And this was a tool that I wish I had then if we have a speaker event, you come to realize, well, we need to reserve a venue. We have these specific tasks. We need to reserve a venue. We need to maybe get some AV equipment. We need to have maybe someone put out promotions beforehand.
Chairs.
Chairs. And so, I would have done it, but then someone new to the group wouldn't know all the steps. Post pictures on the website after the event, and I was like, they need to be a framework. So once we've learned how to do something, we can do that, and so that's why I made moregetsdone.com. It's a cloud-based, easy-to-use web and mobile project management application.
Okay,
people create tasks when something needs to get done. Who's going to do it? Start date, end date. What the status is. Projects can be composed of multiple tasks. And easy to use, really clear, lots of white on the screen. Kind of use Microsoft Word, Microsoft applications as the basis for this.
I was going to say the crux of this thing, it's hard to yell at volunteers, especially, when they're volunteers.
Yeah.
I mean, I think this just kind of puts you sign up. There's a bunch of stuff we always use, like, hey, who wants to sign up for this? But then you're beholden to it because you signed up and everyone's watching. It's more so than
my experience would be you could meet someone you have a really passionate conversation at a friend's birthday party or a cookout about what do we got to do with the old train station? What should we do with the riverfront? And have a really passionate, intense conversation about that. We need someone to distribute flyers around downtown Ferndale for this event. We're having this, architect who just built the CompuWare building come and talk. Can you do that? No, I'm too busy. I came to think of it as kind of the talk to action barrier, and people can talk really intensely about things, but to get out there and do work to hit the pavement, to fundraise, and then we'd have meetings where we'd talk about doing things, but the event didn't happen. And when we'd have an annual meeting, and we have to kind of, what are the accomplishments of the year? I became really care of metrics. I ran a small fundraising campaign, and when I was asking people for money, what did you do? What does this money go towards? Show us the results that if we give, this money will go towards that cause, towards that mission. So just having to have metrics at kind of a top level, organization level, whether it's a for-profit company or a nonprofit or even a loosely grouped kind of people. One of the features I programmed with moregetsdone.com is not only do people create users and create tasks and create projects, but they're organizations. And one of the differentiators, I think, that between this and things like Microsoft Project or Trello or Rike or Asana that are out there is organizations can define a mission statement, and they can define 5 key metrics that are measurables of how much they're doing that mission. And
so dashboards come into play too, or
every user has a homepage which shows their open tasks. Sure. That's pretty typical as project open tasks. Managers can see projects, what tasks have been completed, what tasks are still open, their employees' control panels. But you can associate these projects and these tasks with the organization's top-level metrics, and which roll into the mission statement. And one of the shortcomings I think with a lot of the existing project management applications out there is they're kind of for a discrete project. So maybe your engineers are making the next gen of this widget or that company's core project. And that's great, but the finance people aren't using like a workflow application, and the HR people aren't using a workflow application, and the accounting people aren't using an application. And this can be used to run the entire company, the entire organization. It's not just for accountants. It's not just for the legal department. It's not just for the engineers. It's abstracted back a level that the tech support people can give each other tasks and tickets with it.
Oh, so then the obvious question that follows up along with it, because the topics we always talk about is, so then why am I giving you all of my data, and what happens to that data, and how is it secured?
Good question. I know that in the modern age, that's a good thing. Security is a good concern. So many things are cloud based now. I mean, SaaS is it saves. Bob might get mad at me. You don't have to have a data center. You don't have to have system administrators. I'm using DigitalOcean, which is kind of a cloud-based alternative to Amazon Web Services. So they're quite secure. The company doesn't do anything with the data. I'm pioneering. I'm not pioneering donationware. Currently, the revenue model is create an account for free. If you like it, you think it has value, donate some money. So that's the revenue model. It's not using your data like a Facebook or a Google business model, and so it's secure. It's safe. More Gets Done is not using it for anything analytics or targeted advertising.
I also notice there's an HTTPS here, so like even like the root of your homepage, everything you do with the homepage is SSL protected, right? So that's a good place to start as well.
Yeah, it's there's a security certificate on it, so back and forth across the network, secure on the network, secure. On the account server. So so it's just a framework for coordinating what gets done so that more gets done. There's clear communication. If your name is on something, it's still open. You feel incentivized to do it. One of the features I like about this is I call it top 25 thing, where keeps track of who's closed the most tasks towards a given cause or by organization. So if college football, college basketball, who's the number one team? What's the number one team in the country? People will work really hard to be number one. I don't want, when you're number 20th, you want to be number 100.
Foursquare, man. We wanted to be the, what the heck is Duke?
The mayor.
The mayor, yeah.
You want to
the Duke is Yelp. We would go to bars that we didn't even like just so we could see
I thought
mayor.
Foursquare, if you became mayors in enough places, you became the Duke of an area.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I don't know that feature.
This was back in the day.
Oh. And speaking of areas, it looks like you can actually assign tasks to areas as well. So like you can group like these are the top 25 tasks for Ferndale or for Detroit. So if you're running some kind of large campaign that had multiple cities and multiple even area managers, you could almost dole things out that way as well, right?
Yeah, that's you're looking at a feature. You're looking at the crowdsourcing feature.
Oh no, I'm sorry. That is Yelp. When you get enough places in a certain region, you become the Duke of that region. Yes.
Yeah, got it. Thanks for playing, Dave.
I had to. You know me. I had to look.
Yeah, I mean, I am really impressed with crowdsourcing. That's one of the powerful effects of the internet. So one of the things you can do with moregetsdone.com is make most tasks are by default private between you and somebody else, you within your organization. But you can make them public, and then that will allow anyone to take them. So there's some list of causes there, and if you care about animal welfare, you can make some public causes.
I just did digital for a state representative running for office. I could see that being a huge tool.
Yeah, you love that. You love that candidate. I'll march in the Claire parade. I'll march.
Just that he had 150 people he had to manage. Like, hey, we're going to be on one page. Like, you guys handle this area, I'll handle, whatever.
Yeah, but I want to go back to the crowdsourcing because you can crowdsource by cause. You can crowdsource by location. So people care about where they want to live. I live in the city. A lot of volunteer efforts. Hey, let's clean up Pingree Park. Let's clean up Cass Park. Let's have the block club clean up the alley between Horatio and Larkins or whatever. And so you can just identify tasks. Oh, these weeds need to be cleaned up. This tree needs to be chopped down. There's some graffiti on a fence.
Isn't that crazy that like the citizens of Detroit have to get together and do this crap?
I went to Belle Isle this weekend and decided Jess and I picked up trash the entire way back. All the cigarette
I thought
butts.
Belle Isle was like legit now.
Yeah, but there's still cigarette butts everywhere. I came with two massive pockets full of shit. Thanks, everybody who goes to Belle Isle.
Seriously.
The state's doing it. The state's doing a good job. But, so this can be done. It's a beautiful Saturday afternoon. You want to do something, hey, I'll take that task. I'll do it. I'll do that. And then your neighbors see, hey, Phil and Susan, they've closed 12 tasks. We really appreciate their contributions to the neighborhood.
You get a $15 gift certificate to Applebee's in Detroit.
Or would you asshole stop showing the rest of us up?
This ain't no union day.
Yeah. So, by cause. I care so much about animal welfare. I care so much about the arts, returning veterans. You can do tasks, closed tasks, and people say,
what barbecue are we going to tonight? I care so much about animal rights. Sorry, I had to. No, I get what you're saying. No, I totally I'm just making light.
So, a crowdsourcing component to it, which a lot of, which Jira doesn't have, and so So I think we've all seen how powerful crowdsourcing can be.
Mm-hmm.
So this is that framework that leverages that.
So the website looks good, really, really simple, really clean. What about mobile, and what about like API access? Are those things you guys are doing as well, or?
Good question. So it's made with Bootstrap, so it does look good on a smartphone. It reflows on your 320 pixel screen. Amit's going to kill me because he said, you should make some more endpoints so I can do some Cordova phone gap stuff with it. That's not the architecture model at this point, but maybe Amit, if you're listening, maybe we'll get together.
Because the first thing that I think is like if I had an existing neighborhood website, I'd want to integrate some of these functions from your platform into my neighborhood website. And so not an iframe, but some kind of way to
just pull the widgets in. Yeah,
widgets.
Yeah, I mean, I think fundamentally,
what's a widget?
I think fundamentally this could be an engine. The core functionality could be an engine that other things can use. So certainly endpoints and JSON packets and things like that are the present and the future. Whatever your client is or whatever, it's being reused by within another application. So that's certainly a good idea.
Cool.
Yeah.
Something you're just launching now, and something just you've used, or do you already have people like adopting it and are doing things on your platform?
Launched several weeks ago,
nice.
And
congratulations!
Thank you.
The SS Ship It.
Yes.
Right.
Launch party at the Jam Handy building, which is a really cool space on East Grand Boulevard.
Thanks for the invite.
I feel like I tried to get the word out to the tech community for that. So now just getting the word out and saying, hey, there's this new tool out there, this new information tool. It helps a lot of people. Based in Detroit, you like tech, you like entrepreneurship, you like the city. Check it out for those reasons. And just getting users, getting tasks, growing the metrics now.
We're all about the homegrown. Love it.
Yeah. So this is version 1. What's up for version 2? What's next on the radar for this to make it better?
Good question. I don't know if old web developer. I'm a veteran, seasoned web developer.
HTML 1.1 developer,
right? And so mobile is so big. I think the mobile interface could be a little better. It's Bootstrap, you can use it, but the user patterns, the UI, the UX, when you have swipes and pinches and some things like that, I'm not great at that. So what I see maybe going is some more endpoints and whether it's mobile, but maybe a little more user friendly on mobile, a little slicker, a little faster, a little less friction. Getting the word out, connecting with more businesses, getting them to use it, just growing the metrics, growing the usage, making more people's lives better, more communities better, more companies more efficient. Kind of an extranet quality to it, where you can share tasks across organizations. So, not only within an organization, but your vendors, your suppliers, your freelancers, your consultants, can work together on that way.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Appreciate coming on. How do we find you online?
www.morgetsdone.com is the company. It's got a Facebook page. It's got a Twitter handle. I've got my personal stuff out there, but business stuff, I'd like to come through, morgetsdone.com.
Naturally. Appreciate hanging out with us. Hey, this is going to wrap things up for episode 208 of the IT and the D Show. I'd like to thank Terry Bean from Private Label VR, Andrew Coper from MoreGetsDone.com. I'd also like to thank the Kinney Group and HelloFresh. Thank you for sponsoring the show and keeping the lights on. On behalf,
I'd like to thank us for making it through that entire read without doing an "Oh my God, they killed Kinney" reference.
Kinney's shoes, man. I had a pair of Kinney shoes with fluorescent yellow in fifth grade, fluorescent yellow laces. On behalf of Bob and Dave and Nuri and Randy, do us all a favor. Drink up your drinks. Get your phone numbers. You don't got to go home. You just got to get the hell out of here. Drive careful. See you next week. Beat it.
The emergency destruct system is now activated.
Conan, what is best in life? To crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and to hear the lamentation of their women.
Long live Flash. You've saved your life. Have a nice day.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
Nice shooting, son. What's your name? Murphy. Make the run. The run.
Game over, man. It's game over.
It's over, Johnny. It's over.
Nothing is over. Nothing. You just don't turn it off.
I can't say no, and I don't really want to, so.
Well, especially with the back doors open.
Yo! Hold up! Time out! Time out! Y'all take a chill. You need to cool that shit out. And that's the double truth. Ruth.
Bob loves it in the can.
I hope this was as much fun for you as it was for me.
That's why I like it in the can.
Joe, own the truth.
Bear me.
My job is to make sure this program is morally upright and cultural and wholesome.
Shut up, Mimsy! Shut up, Mimsy! Shut up, Mimsy!
Why would Buick put their cars next to the Bentleys? Why? That's not marketing.
The alphabet.
It's brilliant.
Yeah, I can't take that position.
That analogy sucks because it's right. Because you're getting your 8-track tuned up. Are we at a break yet? Yeah, so now I'm just doing stupid stuff to make me laugh.
Venture capital is not the end game.
When are we going to talk about me?
Jane, you ignorant slut.
It's my show. I can say what I want.
Kiss my ass, go home, unplug, get off the goddamn internet. You are everything that is wrong with the internet right now.
You're so white right now.
I'm the whitest guy in the room. Just explain it to me.
I love this city. I was banging on the wang.
Really? Should we talk about this? Tag team it. Should I keep going or should I stop?
Can I just say, it's been great being on a show that talks about Mickey Rooney dying for 20 seconds and then poop for 10 minutes.